Hello everybody, Daz is here. It was a while since we did a video together with Cyclops, more than a year I think.
5 years ago.
Yeah, and then we tried to overclock our Mocha build, which doesn't even exist anymore. And today I have a perfect opportunity to get some help from Cyclops because I finally jumped and pulled plug on 4K monitor. That was something that Cyclops was telling me, come on, you have to get it, it's time. But I was resisting for a while, and because it was really expensive. If you look on monitors maybe 1 year ago, a decent sized monitor was like freaking $1,000, and I have at home triple monitor setup, 100 megahertz, perfect screen, so I wouldn't really feel like jumping on something new at this point. But one thing that was tipping point for me, I watched a Tech Syndicate review of this monitor that we have right here, and Wendell was really convincing. So I decided, yeah, I probably should try it. The price is sweet, and the monitor seems really nice, everybody like it. So I went online and I purchased monitors through eBay. And here you go, we get it over here. So because it's actually my first time I ever tried to use a 4K monitor, I feel that it will be better if I get some help, external help to review it. And obviously we're not trying to compete with Tech Syndicate video because I think it's absolutely perfect and answer most questions, but nevertheless, I would like just to make our own spin on it and give you a little bit additional end user feelings, and for me as a guy who first time using it, and for somebody who has 4K monitor for a while. So yeah,
years now.
Yeah. So let's chat a little bit on the monitor itself. Probably you can.
Yes. So the monitor, 4K 2840 by is it 2860 or 2840 by 2160? So many numbers. 39 inches, Super MVA, which is a type of VA, vertical alignment. The viewing angles and colors are pretty much as good as any IPS panel. We had to fiddle with the NVIDIA control panel settings a bit. I think it's just the monitor is not calibrated correctly out of the box, so we changed some gamma settings and the color saturation, stuff like that to get it the way we want. So the blacks weren't really black, so we're more like light gray, so we changed the contrast to brightness.
It was barely usable. It was so bright. It was uncomfortably bright.
It was with the HDMI report that's when it came out. So funny story, the display port we couldn't get it to work. It was locked to 2560 by 1440 and it would crash if we tried anything higher. Screen would flicker. We don't know if it's the cable or the graphic card or the monitor, but it's probably the cable. We don't know, we can't say anything, but yeah.
Unfortunately, I used a DVI cable before for a couple of days working on this monitor, so I didn't even try DisplayPort, and otherwise I probably ask Cycle to bring the spare one. But unfortunately, here we are, and thing doesn't work. We don't know why. I hope it's a cable, because actually when you connect to the screen, it's give you a little icon that shows like bad signal thingy. So hopefully if it's bad signal, it's not coming from computer. It probably is just a cable piece of crap. And but we can't say otherwise. I hope I don't need to remain anything for sure, because I'm not looking forward to send this thing back to Korea. No, it could be expensive proposition.
Hopefully it's as simple as just replacing the DisplayPort cable, which is a 1.2 standard, by the way. So it has also two extra HDMI ports. One runs at 1.4, the other one that runs at 2.0. So the 2.0 obviously does 4K at 60 Hertz, the 1.4 at 30 Hertz. The DVI port was the interesting part. I didn't know it could do 4K, and it does, but at 30 Hz, same as the HDMI 1.4. It's a dual link DVI, by the way. Those are pretty much all the jacks on there, and a speaker cable. I think it's an audio in, actually, with our PC audio cable. The speakers are 10 watts, nothing to write home about, but they get the job done. The panel itself, it's like I said, it's VA. The colors are good. The problem I have with it is that the glass, they call it tempered glass, but apparently it got scratched easily. You can't take it off. It's very glossy, very reflective. You can probably see the camera in it when it gets to some part of the darker part of the benchmark.
And we saw, and again, back to Tech Syndicate videos that I keep referring to, the both guys actually remove the screen. I'm still partial on it because First of all, I wouldn't do it until I move it at home and put it on whatever the place it is, because accidents happen. You punch a thing by accident, you just ruin it. So definitely it should be done at the point when you don't expect to move monitor anywhere. Second, this monitor is absolutely super bright, and in my home environment I don't have window behind me. It will be basically dark room, and I noticed that because of the brightness and power of the monitor, it's not much reflection going on when you have it's fully lit. When it's black, it's annoying. You see yourself, but when it's fully lit like this, you actually don't see anything. So right now I'm 50-50 about doing that or not. If it will be bothering me, I probably will, because it's not very difficult. Just heat up, and I'm pretty sure it's just attached with double-sided tape. What I get from other people describing how they actually did the deglassing portion. But yeah, at this point, I'm not 100% convinced that it must be done. Also, obviously, matte type of monitor would be my preference as well.
Yeah, mine too. I don't like reflective screens. The other kind of negative thing about it is the stand, which is just a basic piece of, not glass, but
I think it's tempered glass actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
It must be heavy. Yeah.
It's very heavy.
Yeah. So it is. The base is tempered glass. The problem is it's not adjustable at all. It does have 20 centimeter or 200 millimeter base mounts at the back, so you can add a wall mount or a more flexible stand, although I haven't seen any 20 centimeter stands.
Yeah, actually, I don't know, guys, if anybody of you have experience and good stand with a 200 millimeter spacing for the screws, I would be interested to see in comments. I definitely prefer to have a screen that can be adjustable for better viewing angles, and this is just this fixed stand. It's a little bit run down at this point, and it definitely doesn't stand in the perfect way for how I would see it in ideal situation.
True.
Yeah.
Another problem Daz ran into before I got here was that the panel ships in Korean, in original, so you'll have a hell of a time looking through the menus and find the English option, which I think that takes I think the video also helped.
Yeah, definitely. Seriously, God bless Wendell for saying how to change the damn thing. The screen itself was absolutely, you have no clue what it is. Pixels or pictures that are not that descriptive, so I couldn't guess it probably for a good 10 minutes where the language portion of it. I checked all menus and have no clue. So I have to actually go online, watch a YouTube video and see where exactly you need to go, and just as a monkey went to the right place and click on the right button. Also behind buttons, how you control the menu thing. On the back, you can't see the damn thing. It's really annoying. So it's absolutely, you want to set it once and never attach again, because it's like freaking nightmare. I was stupid enough for first 5 minutes, you see all these descriptions of the button in the front. I was 100% sure it's capacitors. So it's like sitting for free. Monitor doesn't work. Here's the story. When it doesn't work, I keep like pressing this thing. Monitor doesn't work. I'm like, oh shit. Well, probably dead. I need to send it back. So I try all these buttons, nothing worked, and only maybe after quite a few minutes I realized that it's not a capacitor or anything like this. It's actually a physical button on the bloody back. Yeah, on the back. So it was, oh my god.
Not intuitive at all.
Just a senior moment, whatever you call it. Yeah, this was kind of funny thing that happened to me.
For all the negatives the monitor has, it's actually pretty good quality. The picture is great. The response time, even though I haven't managed to test it because I don't have a CRT monitor, they seem to be pretty low. I played some games on it. They're pretty low. The color production is great. The screen real estate is good. We're using 150% scaling in Windows 10. I don't like Windows 10. It's so buggy right now. Maybe it was one of the driver issues that we couldn't get the DisplayPort to work. Anyway, the scaling looks pretty good on it at 150%. I think for stuff like Adobe Premiere, video editing, it's going to have a lot of real estate, so you can play around.
Well, that's my actual hope. I actually plan to replace this with my existing 3 monitors. I have some concerns how easy to arrange your application on one screen, because they can accidentally, go full screen and you need to fiddle a little bit with that thing. It's much easier to work with separate monitors in this sense. But in terms of things like Adobe Premiere, For my current setup, I'm constantly running out of real estate because you want to see, you know, your timeline, you want to see preview, and everything's so cramped and you can't see shit. So hopefully this long it will be really enough for me to make a nice workplace and just have a little bit more convenient type of workplace, basically, to do whatever I'm planning to do. I also plan to do new rendering stations, so this is a kind of part of the new setup that will be happening soon. Another thing that I think, did we talk about speakers?
Yeah, we talked about pretty much everything. Other than that, you said it got a little bit hot, but no big deal.
Oh yeah, that was a little bit interesting thing that it's actually heating up in my mind a little bit more than any other monitors I have before. It's almost like my Sony TV at home is freaking like radiating heat like no tomorrow. This thing is also pretty hot. You can feel the difference if you go above the screen or in front of the screen. But probably that's something that's expected because you have such a massive real estate and you need a backlight system that are heating up. So even if it's LED, whatever it is, it still produces certain amount of heat.
It is LED, a lot of little LEDs. But yeah, overall, I like the panel. The price is good, about $500 US on eBay.
Yeah, for me it went really cheap because what happened is you have two ways you can buy this thing on eBay. There's a fixed price deal that I think they sell it to $530 or something, this kind of range, and you have about $100 on top for the shipping. But also, if you're patient enough, you can go for actual auction and see what you can bid on. And auction part comes with free shipping. So basically, what I did, I just put my bid maximum on exactly what you have a fixed price type of deal, and I hope that I get it and I don't need to pay for shipping, and that's exactly what's happened. So I saved $100 on getting this thing because shipping was free. The seller doesn't respond in any emails, nothing. So for 2 weeks I was scratching my head what's going on, and should I file PayPal dispute, what's going on, and they were sitting on monitor for 2 weeks, then they ship it, and I got it in 2 days. That's how the whole thing went. So it was a little bit, I was a bit worried, certain parts, but yeah, I got it without any problems, nothing like this. The only thing that was also a little bit unnerving, when I got a monitor by UPS, it has no additional box, so it was original box from the monitor, so no additional protection, and it has like massive hole in the middle. And I was like, oh man, it kind of doesn't look good. And when I actually cut the top of the box and start looking from on which side the hole is, I saw also this actually on the side of the screen, and my heart just sunk because I thought, okay, probably that's it. I saved $100, but now I send it back to Korea. But you can see, not a scratch, nothing. So they punched through the box and completely penetrated, but somehow the monitor wasn't scratched, no damage, no nothing. So. Yeah.
It is
lucky in this sense.
Yeah, it is from halfway across the world. I've ordered 2 4K TVs before, the Wasabi Mangoes. Both came damaged. There's one with FedEx, one with DHL. So it is a risk you got to take. But I think
it's a risk when you buy from, not locally. Yeah. There's always something goes wrong. You have to deal with expense, sending stuff back. It's always from your pocket. So yeah, it's a gambling in a way. So this gamble, hopefully it was okay, because I said we have a problem with DisplayPort. I hope it's not monitor.
Well, we got the HDMI as backup. The other thing, I forgot to mention that the 444 tests usually doesn't perform so great on HDMI at 60 Hz 4K, but it did just fine. We got all the full color gamut, so I think it's also 99.9% RGB color, so yeah, it pretty much it's great for video editing, color accurate work, stuff like that.
The whole thing pretty amazing. I honestly, it's my first 4K monitor, and when I ran first this Wally benchmark, I was like, holy shit, it almost like feel like I can put my head inside, and it was so realistic. So definitely big difference from the standard 1080p monitor. So it was a little bit revelation for me, a little bit late for the party, but nevertheless.
It's okay. Now right now the prices are so affordable that you're doing yourself disservice if you don't go 4K, if you have the decent hardware.
Another thing that I also was a little bit worried that for such a massive monitor is that it will be still okay to sit in front of it like a normal monitor and have a monitor on the distance of your extended hands, because such a big thing. So, and I was worried that you actually wouldn't be not convenient to work, but it's absolutely no problem. You can use it as a standard monitor, doesn't bother you. Well, maybe you need a little bit, spread your eyes a little bit wider than usual, but I didn't feel it's any different from having this massive monitor or from have a triple monitor that I have. Actually, it's even less, more condensed at this point, because now I have a little bit taller setup, a little bit narrow comparing with the triple monitors that I have right now at home. Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Alright guys, well that's pretty much it. It's a pretty decent deal in my opinion, so thank you for Tech Syndicate to recommending it. Was lucky to get it without damage too, and well, definitely we'll start using it together with my new rendering stations that we're going to build soon. It will be new build log on YouTube channel, and hopefully you will enjoy it. I see you soon.
Subscribe.